wrote Fly Like an Eagle because cans of beer can't write songs.
Steve Miller is a virtuoso guitar player. He's a visionary and a true musician who is always focused on the music. We're here today celebrating Mr. Steve Miller because he's one of the most iconic and lasting songwriters of the generation. If you've listened to the radio, you've listened to Steve Miller. Like so many great musicians, he was driven and extremely resourceful at a young age. After his family moved to Dallas, he started his first band at age 12. And in typical Steve Miller fashion, he knocked it out of the park. He taught his older brother to play the bass so somebody could drive the band to gigs.
Oh my God!
He sent letters to every fraternity, sorority, every school, country club, church, synagogue. Synagogue rock, very underrated. In a matter of weeks, this 12-year-old had the band booked out for months. After returning to Wisconsin for college, he decided that he actually wanted to learn something, so he dropped out and followed his gut instinct. He wanted to play electric blues. That meant he needed to go to Chicago. His mother, she supported his decision. His father thought he was insane. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Either way, he left for Chicago. There were few places more inspiring to a blues freak
That's all right. This guy
than
just still has
Chicago
beer
in
on
the
my
50s
ass.
and 60s. It's where the countrified boogie of Mississippi and Memphis met the mean streets of a proper big-time metropolis. Clubs were packed and the music played all night. There was also no place more brutally
Really that much
cutthroat
of a
for a guitarist than Chicago in the early 60s. Before deciding to
Really that
finally
much
head
of a
out
depth?
west, Steve shared the stage in Chicago with some of the greatest musicians of all time.
Oh, okay.
Mike Waters and Howlin' Wolf.
Uh-huh.
Just to name a
Okay. Hopefully we won't act like a dick the rest of the show.
With lessons learned in the gritty city of Chicago, Steve was ready to venture onward to an even more cutthroat and diabolical musical realm, San Francisco in the mid-60s.
The story goes, upon arrival in San Francisco, Steve went to see the Jefferson Airplane and Butterfield Blues Band at the Fillmore on the first day in town. He was living out of a Volkswagen bus at the time. He got on stage and announced he was starting the band right away. And so began one of the greatest songwriting stretches in rock and roll history. He immediately immersed himself in the vibrant San Francisco scene, but noticed right away that he had a natural advantage having cut his teeth in Chicago. No strutting, posing, or long breaks between songs to tune. It was and always has been solely about the music for Steve. Steve reconnected with his childhood friend Boz Scaggs and started the Steve Miller Band. The Steve Miller Band became a mainstay of the San Francisco music scene. According to Fillmore's records, the Steve Miller Band played there 109 times in the span of just a few years. The first 5 albums were a perfect snapshot of the evolving psychedelic San Francisco music scene.
It would be extremely hard to find a 3-year stretch of hits from any artist in any genre that could hold a candle to the Steve Miller Band's run from 74 to 77. A 3-year stretch so prolific that it demanded its own greatest hits that very next year. One that has sold a staggering 13 million copies. More than classic albums like Abbey Road. That's just 3 out of a 50-plus year career. The Joker, Fly Like an Eagle, Rockin' Me, Take the Money and Run. These are pop classics that have stood the test of time. In a few minutes, it has taken Pat and I to reacquaint you with Steve's Wikipedia page. There is a good chance every one of these songs has been played on a radio station somewhere around the world. With over 30 million albums sold, Steve Miller should have his own damn parking spot at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if he wants it. We're just here to give the man what he wants.
The space cowboy, the gangster love, some people call him Maurice. Smiling time at a persona, the Hall of Famer. Congrats, Steve. You're honored to be part of your big night. Welcome to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.